Brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The Buckeyes taking on Michigan State this evening, 7:30 kick on Peacock, and of course right here on The Fan. The pregame show getting underway in just minutes. Then we'll have the tailgate show as well. Going on right now in the top 25. Number 22 Baylor has a 28-14, or is losing to number 22 BYU, 28-14. Number 6 Mississippi has a 7-3 lead over Kentucky. Number 12 Michigan, 21-0. They lead Minnesota. Number 23, Kansas State, taking on number 20, Oklahoma State. And the Wildcats have a 21-13 lead. Completed from last night, number 7, Miami beats Virginia Tech 38-34. Big games coming up today, Louisville and Notre Dame. That's number 15 versus 16.
It's football o'clock, friends. Celebrate Buckeye Game Day. This is the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. Key Bank opens doors.
Along with former Buckeyes DeVier, Posey, and Dean Santenbacher, here's Matty Ice.
Oh, welcome in. Here we go. Another game day has arrived. I'm Matty Ice, and to my right, I got a former Buckeye wide receiver and a Grey Cup MVP by the name of DeVier, Posey Depot. Happy game day, baby. Another one has arrived. How you feeling?
It's time. It's time.
It's time.
I don't
You know
care
what?
this rain, this gray, this sad day, this fall day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's getting me hyped for? Some Big Ten football.
Yeah, some Big Ten action.
Man, all that summer pregame bull crap back, man. Let's go.
Get it out of here.
That's what it's about.
I love it. I'm absolutely here for it. Look, we're missing Dane today.
Yep.
So we wish him well with whatever he's doing in the world. We will be all back together next week for a home game against Iowa. But tonight, the Buckeyes, the Scarlet and Gray, they take it on the road in a primetime slot. And let me tell you this before we get rolling. If you don't have Peacock, because the game is on Peacock tonight, if you don't have Peacock, the Fan is here for you. Listen to the Buckeyes and Michigan State on the Fan, and here's why. The Fan is free. Peacock is not. The Fan, ladies and gentlemen, they have Paul. Let me correct myself. We have Paul Keels.
Yes, we do.
And Jim Lachey. Peacock does not. The Fan is home. The Fan is the home of the Buckeyes, and Peacock is not. Listen to the Buckeyes in Michigan State Saturday at 7:30 on the Fan and the Fan app. Depot, I'm so excited to see you, man. You know, I get to see you a couple times a week now, you know, throughout the weekend.
Off season, we hang out more.
You know what? We haven't played golf yet, but somehow, some way,
we got to play.
We're still kicking it. You don't like to play golf with me.
No.
Every time I ask, can we play golf?
You know why I can't play golf? Is because with you is my kids go to school from 9 to 3 and you work from 12 to 3. So
it's a bit of a problem.
It's
a bit of a problem.
Unless we get a 6 o'clock tea time.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
That's a little too early for me. It's a little too early for me. I will say this. I have a couple of days off.
Okay.
On the bye week.
Okay. Yeah.
And so let's get out there because this is my type of weather. I like to get out there.
The cold golf, the ball travels farther.
Quarter zip, you know, some golf pants.
Yeah.
And let's do it that way. But we have to get it in out there, man.
We have to. No, we have to. I'm still on my quest to break 90. A true 90, not you could pick that up. No. You got to hear the cup sound.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
For all you guys and for all you gimmies, I'm in the no gimme gang.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's it. I got to have a true 90.
We got some Big Ten action already popping off before we dive into some Big Ten talk. Michigan is taking care of Minnesota, absolutely putting it on them right before halftime. It is 21-0. Over in Bloomington, you got 4-0. Indiana taking on Maryland at 3-1. It's 14-7 right now in favor of Indiana. Halftime between Nebraska and Purdue, that's 0-0. That's interesting. No points on the board yet for Nebraska. Going to be interesting to see how they recover from a primetime loss last week at the crib against Illinois, and we'll get into some other stuff along the way. A fun one in the Big Ten tonight with Illinois and Penn State. Number 19 ranked Illinois taking on number 9 Penn State over there. Not a whiteout, I believe. I don't think they're doing the whiteout. I think they're saving that for Ohio State. So that'll be
for Ohio State.
You know how they do over there. When the Buckeyes come into town, you got to do it big. You got to do it big when the Buckeyes come into town, and that's what Michigan State is going to try and do tonight. Ohio State's been comfortable.
They're taking D'Antonio into the Hall of Fame tonight.
Oh, is that happening? I didn't hear about that.
Mark
Okay,
D'Antonio.
so it will be rocking.
So it's going. I think a lot of former players will be back, and I think they did it for the Ohio State game. My boy B.J. Cunningham was like, "Man, this is a terrible game," and ducked D'Antonio in, and I'm like, "Nah, like don't forget that he won a natty here as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
he has Ohio ties. So I think that." It's on subject. It's on par.
It'll provide some juice for them early on in the game.
For sure.
We'll see what happens throughout the game because Ohio State seems to be a well-oiled machine for the most part right now with what they're doing. Vegas Depot was telling us that Ohio State is favored by 23.5 points on the road. You tell me, when you go from playing 3 home games in a row, 90% of what you've done as a team against your opponent has been comfortable. The mentality now of a team going on the road, and not just going on the road, but going on the road in conference play, what is that like for players today?
Well, I think for Ohio State, they should be a bit confident. This Michigan State team, the Sparty team, went to Boston College and had some casualties. Nick Marsh is not playing today, the freshman sensation. He's out. And then I think 2 other playmakers for them are out, so I think they're going to have some walk-on wide receivers, probably like less than 5 catches career-wise for all of the guys that they'll have as pass catchers. Gives me some confidence on defense, right? No defensive players of the game awards went out last week. Guys are pissed off. Michigan State is down a couple stars. Let's go show out.
I've heard from Will Howard this week how, you kind of like this when you are an opposing team going into somebody else's house. Just the energy it can provide for you as a player, as a team, that rah-rah mentality of it's us versus everybody on the road like this. What was your mentality like personally? Were we, just rocking out to a whole bunch of music prior to the game? Was it, let me stay calm before the game on the road? What was DeVier Posey like on game day away from the shoe?
Man, I think with road games, they're always a little bit more exciting. I mean, now, don't get me wrong, like big games, you want to have them at home. But I wasn't a guy that felt like home field advantage. Like I needed home field advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like man, you can get it anywhere.
Wherever.
Like
we could play in the parking lot.
Listen,
Kroger parking lot.
I played in Canada, played in Houston, hot, cold, warm, from Ohio, 4 seasons. I pride myself on being able to get it in anywhere, any continent, anytime. So I love that. It doesn't matter.
I love that. And I think that's probably the mentality for this team this year, because all we've heard all off season is how determined this year's team is, especially the guys that have felt those losses of Michigan 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And you just heard the constant message of staying focused, not getting full of yourself, not feeling yourself along the way, because I think it could be easy to fall into that, where everybody starting in the offseason has praised you as far as what your potential is, and then you get into these 3 games and you've handled business. And we're at a point now where we're nitpicking with some of the things that they're doing, right? And we'll get into some of those things. Yeah. But that's something I'm not too concerned about moving forward, is this team going into environments like this and going into other environments and not looking the part, because when you have, to me, that veteran leadership from the top down, and I'm not even talking about the coaching staff, I'm just talking about in the locker room, on both sides of the ball, you just have so many guys that have been there and done that, and they know that they have to play the long game. Yeah. And when you do that, it's got to be that brick by brick mentality. And so I'm not worried about them being distracted, Depot.
Let's play a game. Matty Ice, you know that this year you're so talented. You're the greatest radio host that I've ever met.
Stop it.
You're the greatest. You know what? This might be the most talented radio room that I've ever seen, ever grace Columbus, Ohio, ever grace Tinga's network. You see how much that pisses you off?
Yeah, I don't like it.
So that's how this Ohio State team feels, right? Like, it's so hard to take a compliment when you know you haven't accomplished your personal goals yet. You haven't accomplished your personal, just like hurdles, right? Like these guys have 0 Big Ten rings. I don't want to hear you tell me how good I am. I'm about to show you, right? And I think, and I meant that stuff, what I said, by the way.
I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
But you get the example, right? Like, it's like, man, I remember the late Will Smith. I met him, partied with him a few times, had dinner with him. Great guy, right? Ohio State legend. And I'm just asking him, like, Will, like, what was something that always gave you an edge? Like what do you do? What's your routine? Like anytime I'm around greatness, like I need to ask for like 3 books, give me some secrets, man. And he was just like, hey, like if I was you, I would just take a compliment as disrespect. And I was like, what?
That's like that. Is it the opposite day?
But think about this Ohio State's team, right?
Yeah.
Like a compliment is almost disrespectful because I haven't accomplished what I've want to accomplish yet. And so, like, just take a piece of Will Smith, a little bit of that mindset for this team. It's time, right? Like, you have to have that type of focus.
100%. I think that's very well said right there. So I cannot wait to see the product tonight and what it looks like. Whenever you get into conference play, it just adds more juice to it, no matter who you're playing, no matter what brand it is. And honestly, when you think about that Michigan State brand versus Ohio State, some games have gotten funky. Some games have gone in favor of Michigan State instead of Ohio State. You're doing the air guitar in here right now.
Man.
Like, that's one of those moments where you're a Buckeye fan. You think about that. You think about Baker Mayfield planting the flag, because those things don't happen too often, right, for Ohio State. More times than not, you guys are getting the better of your opponent. But this is a brand that, until the game is really out of control or in control for Ohio State, maybe some people a little nervous about this one. We're not nervous about what we're about to do for the next couple of hours, because we're going to have a lot of fun talking about Ohio State football and everything else happening around the conference. But when we come back, Coach Day, we will hear from him on his quarterback and his rushing ability and what that means to the team. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
When that alarm clock goes off, Morning Juice comes on. The perfect way to dominate your day or just lay around the house. Morning Juice.
Weekdays at 6.
The Fan.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited truck month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
30% of D1 athletes report betting-related threats and harassment after games. This threatens the safety and mental health of students like Jade.
I'm a college athlete, and I'm more than a bet. When you threaten my life and my family because you lost money, it really scares me.
These threats are not acceptable. Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
You want Jersey Mike's signature sub, you get a number 13 original Italian. You want a dramatic radio idea? You get me. Like this. I'm the 7th-string quarterback, and the other 6 quarterbacks go down. The coach yells, DeVito, you're in. The crowd is worried until I throw a touchdown. But the other team is celebrating. Apparently, I threw the Jersey Mike's number 13 original Italian I was eating on the sidelines. Whoops. The number 13 original Italian, Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
When you travel, they always say, get a room with a view. And there's no better way to travel than the roomy new Toyota Camry. It's all hybrid all the time, so you can take your travels even farther. Now through September 30th, you can lease a Camry LE for $299 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing, with approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to Toyota.com. Book your room now. Toyota. Let's go places.
Start Reaction Monday off in style with Bobby and Beam on Morning Juice. They're talking Buckeyes at 6:20, 7:20, and 8:20, and probably all the other minutes in between.
Reaction Monday is sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan.
First down. Oh, what? Just cleared that drain last week.
Well, clearly that didn't work. Would you please just call the waterworks?
At the Waterworks, we mean clean. We'll get your drains good as new on the first down. And as for him, well, there's always the Buckeyes. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the things you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no meds, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
This year's starting lineup at Honda Marysville is strong as ever with low monthly payments on some of our most popular models. Lease a new 25 Civic Sport or HRV all-wheel drive. You choose just $259 a month for 36 months. Or get a new 24 Accord Hybrid Sport for just $299 a month. And don't forget our $49 oil change where we'll get it done in an hour or it's free. So come and see us. Honda's built here, Honda's sold here. Honda Marysville. We're closer than you think.
36-month closed-down lease with approved credit, $39.99. With signing payment does not include taxes or fees. 10,000 miles per year. Cannot combine first, not valid on previous sales. Offer expires 9/30/24.
Full inventory sale at Logan Services. Save up to $2,500 and 0% APR financing for 72 months on a qualifying train system. Plus, your choice of one air quality freebie. It's hard to stop a train with a system for every home and budget. Now, for a limited time, save up to $1,000 on a water heater and water conditioning combo. Ask us about tax credits when you book your free estimate now. Logan Services.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Can you smell it? Buckeye football is in the air. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your home for the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Welcome back in. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. I'm Matty Ice, rocking out with my guy DeVier Posey, the former Buckeye wide receiver and Grey Cup MVP. Happy game day. I hope your Saturday has gotten off to a night start. Great start. I'm thinking about a night game.
It's getting late early.
It's getting late early for me, apparently, on the air already. But night game for Ohio State, that's where I was trying to go on the road tonight. We'll have you covered right here on The Fan. And again, just a reminder, the game is on Peacock. If you don't have Peacock, all you got to do is fire up the Fan app or tune in on The Fan, and we have you covered. Last week, Depot, Marshall came into town. They brought in their Tudor's biscuits. That did not distract Ohio State at all. They won the game 49-14. Some chatter this week about the start of the game and how the defense looked early in the game. I've kind of been in the headspace this week of, okay, they came out of the bye week. Credit to Marshall. I try not to overreact when an offense, especially on the first drive, looks as clean as Marshall did. Because those scripted plays are usually what, Depot? Your best plays, the plays you're most comfortable with. It wasn't great to see, but I invest more in what they did in the latter portion of the game where they really tightened the screws up and didn't allow a point in the second half. So what are your thoughts on what you saw early on in the game, specifically from defense and how Marshall was able to go down the field and do what they did?
I get upset when media, Ohio State fan base is expecting like Ohio State to just be, because we said that they were good, they're just supposed to blow everybody out. Does everybody know that there is a play called Holy Buckeye that Ohio State, like to beat Purdue to go to the national championship in 2002, right? Does anybody remember losing to Virginia Tech in 2014 when we won a national championship? What we as fans should be waiting on is the moment that this team is tested and the moment that they respond. That will let you know how good this team is, not how much they beat a crappy team by. And no disrespect to Tudor's Biscuits and Marshall. I like that coach. But what I'm saying is that that's not a measure of greatness.
Right.
That's not a measure of how good this team is. A measure of greatness a measure of a good team that can go deep into the season is a team that can respond when adversity hits. But adversity has to hit, and it's going to make us as fans uncomfortable. It's going to make us as media uncomfortable. We might have doubt as it unfolds, and this team comes and saves our doubt away. That's what makes you love Ohio State football. That's what's going to make you love this 2024 team. But for me personally, Matty, I'm upset because I just can't take it anymore. Like, I can't wait until we have an adverse moment and this team responds, because it's like we can't even see the depths and the breadth and the volumes of talent on this team in blowout games.
Yeah. You're right.
Like, you can't even see how good they are in crappy games. Like, it has to be a test.
To your point, the tests are coming.
Absolutely.
The tests are coming. And I think you make a very valid point there where you want to feel some of that. At least you didn't have to feel it for an entire game last week. I didn't feel it at all.
You
felt it maybe a couple moments in the game, but for the most part, in your mind, you knew Ohio State was going to handle business. And when that clock hit triple zeros, they were going to reign victorious against the Herd, which they did, 49-14. Let's get to Will Howard, because this was such a big talking point all off season, is what is he going to look like in scarlet and gray? Last week, 16 of 20, 275, 2 touchdowns, did have an interception in the game. Let's hear from Coach Day on not only what he does through the air, but his rushing ability as well.
But he knows that's a huge weapon, and it's a huge weapon at all levels of football, and then certainly for us, we're going to need that, because it changes the entire the advantage in the box, the leverage, the numbers, and having the ability to pull the ball and read somebody certainly makes a big difference. And so when appropriate, we'll use that. He knows that. He's done that before. He feels comfortable in that. He likes that part of it. And I think it just adds to his overall game.
Because of how dominant Ohio State has been so far, they haven't even had to go to this. I said this week on the show.
You see what I'm saying?
I said this week on the show, Depot, this is like when Thanos was collecting all the Infinity Stones.
Yep.
You can still go around, the Marvel realm and give the Avengers fits without all the Infinity Stones. That's what Ohio State is doing. And when they get into those tests that you're talking about,
he's just using time and reality, right?
The last Infinity Stone may be these design runs for Will Howard and those keeps on those RPO looks or those quarterback draws or whatever it is. And when they drop that last Infinity Stone, that's going to make this offense that is already really good with the two horses you have at running back, the playmakers outside, even better. So I love that they haven't put him in, let's say, harm's way.
I love Marvel references. That's so good.
Just yet by the run game. But to me, that's what this is. It's the last Infinity Stone that when you need it, just drop it in there, and then you could just do even more damage.
Just do this.
That's it. And the defenses will fade away. But it's on the way, Depot. As you know, Chip Kelly, because you brought up a good point. When the games get tight, and maybe that's a little bit of tonight. Maybe that's next week at Iowa. Maybe it's Oregon in the coming weeks. I don't want to say guarantee, but I'm almost willing to go there that we're going to see that 3rd and 2 where the crowd is rocking. Will Howard, it's time to go get that first down. I won't be surprised if that's on the way in the next couple of weeks.
Pull one of those RPOs.
There you go.
In the midfield. Like, not just in the goal line. Like, pull one and let's go.
Yep. Because that's what you need. And it just, like Coach Day was talking about, it can just stress out a defense. It's just one more thing you have to worry about, and it's something else that you can open up for your playmakers on the outside and maybe one of these running backs. Speaking of opening things up, a guy that came back last week was Donovan Jackson. And to me, he looked good out there. When you have arguably your best offensive lineman coming back, things are going to get better and better for you. Here is Coach Day on Donovan's play last week against the Herd.
He graded out a champion. I thought we didn't have a whole bunch of plays in the game, some explosive plays, some shorter drives, but I think there was a confidence across the board having him in there. Not that Austin didn't do a nice job when he was in there, but we're talking about one of the better players in college football, and I think that across the board up front the communication was much better. I thought there was some cohesiveness, guys finishing downfield. So good to have him back in the mix.
He just presents an opportunity, Depot, for Ohio State to play bully ball if they need to, especially down there in the trenches with him playing guard.
No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely one of the infinity stones that we have. You kind of felt that with Junkins, and I love Travion's comments, if we can pull them up, Big, or Hayes, on how he feels, Quinshon is one of the best backs in the country. The play of the offensive line, the threat of Will Howard, the threat of Jeremiah and Mecca just allows us to play so many levels of football. The offense is very sophisticated in terms of okay, in team prep, we're watching film. You can turn on the film, Matty, and just be like, where are they weak at? Okay, this guy's bad, this guy's bad. This is definitely a weak link on their on their defense. This is how we can attack them in 5 different ways with 5 different personnel and extort this, this weakness.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's absolutely correct. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show. Visit Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Coming up next, we'll get into our What They're Saying segment. We'll hunt down that Travion Henderson
that was a great clip
that you're talking about and talk about this dynamic running back duo that Ohio State has right now. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show right here on The Fan.
If your idea of the perfect radio show is all Buckeyes all the time, then it's your lucky day, Slappy. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Football fans, meet your new full-service auto partner, Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. From Honda to Ford to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, we have the perfect vehicle for every football fan. Stuck on the road? Our 24/7 towing and roadside assistance is just one call away, and our convenience service means no hassle, just great service. Plus, every vehicle purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. For unbeatable deals and unbelievable service, visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I cannot imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point-of-sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Dort, what's that guy yelling
about on my noisemaker?
Stormar, your climate hero.
Your climate hero, you fossil?
What's a climate hero?
That's Dormar, our same-day heating and AC company we've used for 60 years.
Who?
Dormar, your climate hero.
Come on, Dad, you laugh every time you hear their Tidy Whitey commercials.
Yep, those are funnier.
Dormar, your climate hero.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Buying a truck for your business doesn't have to be a time-consuming experience. Valley Ford of Columbus makes it easy with a dedicated commercial truck center and the best inventory in Ohio. Valley has the selection to fit your needs exactly. Here's just one example. 2024 Ford F-250s with $5,000 off MSRP and as low as 1.9 APR. Tell them I sent you and keep on trucking with Valley Ford of Columbus, the official dealership of Carnell Tate and T-Bone, for whatever that's worth. Valley Ford of Columbus. More details, valleyfordofcolumbus.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
Brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Let's go ahead and look at what's going on in the Big Ten today. They just started the second half. Michigan has a 21-3 lead over Minnesota. Khalil Mullins with 2 touchdowns in that one. Curtis O'Rourke has 192 yards passing and 1 touchdown in the third. Indiana is tied with Maryland at 14. They're also in the third quarter. Nebraska and Purdue and West Lafayette. That one is scoreless. Coming up here at 3:30, Wisconsin heads out west to take on number 13 USC. Tonight at 7:30, number 9 Penn State hosts number 19 Illinois. Then at 11 o'clock tonight, number 8 Oregon on the road at UCLA. And of course, the Buckeyes taking on Michigan State tonight at 7:30 right here on The Fan. This one's sponsored by Valley Ford of Columbus. From F-150s to F-750s, Valley Ford of Columbus is Ohio's commercial truck headquarters.
Saturday in Ohio. Birds are chirping. The sky is, blue, gray? I don't know. This is recorded in advance. But the most wonderful thing of all is Buckeye football. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your flagship home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. It's time to find out what they're saying.
All right, welcome back in. Matty, DeVier, Posey, former Buckeye wide receiver, getting you ready for Ohio State. And Michigan State on the road under the lights. Cannot wait to see what that looks like. You brought this up in our last segment, and I haven't heard this clip yet, and this is apparently Travion Henderson heaping some high praise on his new teammate and Quinshon Judkins. Big, go ahead and spin that, my man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, there's definitely we build momentum, off each other, and I definitely build momentum off Quinshon, man. Quinshon is a great running back. I believe to shoot the best running back in the country, man. That boy is talented, man, and I'm so thankful, man, to have him here, man. He's gonna be a huge part of the team. Yeah, man. Like I said.
You know what I really love about this is that it seems like you have a guy in Travion Henderson that is so comfortable in his own skin right now that he's not concerned about his teammate and the guy in his room maybe receiving more praise than him. I don't know even know if that's the case, but I can understand a guy, especially Travion or any athlete that has been somewhere for an amount of time and put in a lot of work in that same facility and in that same stadium for a couple years. And you have a guy come in that is maybe as good as you, but in the eyes of some other people, maybe better than them. Who knows? The fact that he's so on board with this and has been, it seems, so on board with this, I think is credit to Travion and the maturity of a guy that knows that I'm still going to get mine, but this guy can come in and not only help the team, but also help me and protect my body throughout the year, too. So credit to Travion as well, because I think that takes a mature dude, Depot, to go through what he's had to go through the last few months.
Well, just even from a deeper perspective on that subject, this is what he's been a part of his whole career. He's been a part of a rotating room. Like, not ever once in his career has the running back job been all his and his to get hurt, right? Like, he's rotated with Mayan. Mm-hmm. He's rotated with Chip Trainum. What's my guy? Master Teague.
Yep.
And I think out of all of those backs, what Travion is kind of saying is that this is the best guy I've probably played with.
Yeah.
Right,
He's different.
Like
this guy's different.
He's different, and I love sharing the room. Like I'm learning from him, and I mean you can see it. I mean the thing with Judkins that just kind of blows my mind is Paul's like his lower body is crazy. Like it's like you don't want to tackle this guy.
It's like when we talked about Saquon Barkley and the nickname Saquads came out.
You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
It's just like, and when he gets those knees up, it's like, yeah, nah, I'll probably stay on this decision. I'm gonna stay on this block.
Yeah, business decision.
I'm gonna stay on this block.
Yeah, and you're talking about just a well-rounded back. That's what you have in Quinshon Judkins, right? Where he's talking about long speed. You're talking about power. You're talking about the ability we saw last week from both of those guys with the stiff arm that they have in their bag. I mean, he mushed a dude to the upside down last week.
Yes.
You ever watch Stranger Things?
Absolutely, big Stranger Things.
You know, the upside down is where things get wild.
It gets wild.
And that's where Quinshon sent the dude from Marshall last week. And so, shout out Waffles, too. You a waffle guy?
Yeah, I like waffles.
Pancakes, waffles, French toast. If you could only rock with one.
For the rest of my life?
For the rest of your life. Of the three, where you going?
Man, I had Cracker Barrel pancakes today, and they had that crusted edge.
That is always the tipping point in the conversation. When you go to Cracker Barrel, and they got those crispy edges, and they bring you that little bottle of syrup, it's a moment. It's a moment.
If I had to pick one, because I've spent so many times in hotels and taking that small plastic cup and pouring that batter in that machine.
You're going waffles.
I might go waffles.
You're going waffles. Bake show. French toast, pancakes, waffles. The rest of your life, you can only rock out with one. What are you choosing?
I think I'm going to go waffles. I love how the syrup pulls up in there, or if you throw some peanut butter on there, it gets down in the...
Okay.
So I think I do waffles.
If you could promise me the crispy edge pancakes the rest of my life,
can't promise that.
It's a landslide.
You can't promise that.
Because my grandma, my aunties, they all made them that way, and my mom. That's why I grew. And then when I went to Cracker Barrel, I can get these all the time. So I have to go pancakes.
I literally had some of those crispy edges today.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man,
that sounds phenomenal.
I had the grandpa's breakfast.
What else did you get on there?
I got scrambled. When I go, I get scrambled with cheese and onions on the eggs.
Okay.
And then I got the home style chicken with 2 pancakes. I told them to hold the biscuits and gravy.
So you got it. Not too many carbs.
Don't need it.
No too many carbs.
It's game day.
You look like you can give me about 20 reps right now in the game if I need it.
I could probably give you about look. You gotta be only on first down. I'm not in on third down. I'm not in on no yard. Look,
oh man,
I could block backside on the run.
Okay, all right. You look good, man. You look like you're in game shape. But these two running backs, just getting back to Quinshon specifically, he's as advertised, right?
Yeah.
Because there was so much hype about Caleb Downs and Quinshon Judkins, and you saw it. Maybe not a Buckeye fans. I don't know if they checked out a lot of Ole Miss football last year, and I wouldn't blame them. But when you talk about Quinshon Judkins, this guy has gone from the SEC to the Big Ten and been immediately dominant. And it's just a collective of tools that the dude has, with just the ability to rip off an 86-yard run, with the ability to get physical with a linebacker or safety, whoever wants to get in his way, you got problems. So between Travion and Quinshon right now, you have a running back in Quinshon Judkins that's averaging 9.3 yards a carry. So essentially, every time you give the rock to Quinshon, move the chains. When you give the rock to Travion Henderson, you're looking at second and short every single time that these guys get the ball, and they're both explosive. And that just has to be a nightmare for defenses to deal with and defensive coordinators to know if these guys get in space, my guys probably can't catch them.
Yeah, no. And honestly, they don't want to. It's like, hey, listen.
You got it.
I saw that stiff arm on film, and I told myself that's not happening to me this week.
My girlfriend's not seeing me get mushed on national TV.
Because everybody's watching me play against Ohio State. You're not stiff arming me like that.
You know who I think is a big piece of this is specifically the stiff arm, because I heard Coach Day talk about Coach Lachlan and how that's something that they focused on this offseason was Coach Loughlin coming in and having those guys lock in on the stiff arm. Not that they couldn't do it before, but maybe he knows a little bit of the tricks that, can really be.
Stiff arm is all about the time.
Yeah, and maybe he's a really good running back coach, but maybe that's something he really has in his bag as a coach. And here's Trevion talking about his first impressions of Coach Loughlin.
I think when he first got here, he came in the room, and man, he gave us this speech. He was just like, man, I'm a dog, I'm a dog. And man, that right there, I knew. I was like, all right, we in it, man, we in it. But no, man, I love Coach Lock, man. The mentality he brings here, man. I thank God for bringing him here, man. He's been amazing, in this room, on this team, man. He's been, man, a huge part of this team.
I believe that you can have tone setters as players, but you can also have tone setters as coaches.
Absolutely.
And you correct me if I'm wrong. I don't even know if your head coach needs to be that tone setter all the time. Mm-hmm. And I think that could be the case for Coach Loughlin, and probably even outside of the running back room, because he just seems to me to just have an energy and an aura around him that a lot of people gravitate to.
Yeah, the thing with a position coach, it's not like the position coach is necessarily calling the plays or like making decisions on the game. What your positions coach job is to enforce the technique, enforce the teaching for like each play, and then create some type of morale and energy in the room. Like they're enforcing on, hey, like, I don't care what play that is. Like, we don't ever come out of a comeback that way, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like, this is the same play we've been running since camp. Why are you running it like this? Or as playmakers, we set the tone for the team. We need to be out here making big plays.
Yeah.
And that's their job. And so, like, what Coach Loughlin brings with that dog mentality, with the energy that, I feel like I get from him just from my couple times meeting him, obviously seeing him on the sideline, the way he carries himself on game day, the running backs are playing like that. Like they're embodying their position coach, and I like what I'm saying.
I think what you're saying is the standard is the standard. And we're never veering off from that. It's like in Game of Thrones when Cersei had her security guards and she was threatening Littlefinger, and she was like, let me show you what power is. And she said to her security guards, take 3 steps back.
Yeah.
Kill him. Don't kill him. Power is power. The standard is the standard. I know you're not a Game of Thrones fan.
When people get all serious talking about Game of Thrones.
Because it's like, amazing.
It's talking about Dungeons and Dragons, man.
Come on, man. Don't do that. The Fan Pregame Show is presented by KeyBank. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Coming up next, one tough animal. Who's a guy or guys that balled out last week around college football that we want to give some love to? We will do that next. It's the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan, it's always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
No. First down.
Oh, what? Just cleared that drain last week.
Well, clearly that didn't work. Would you please just call the waterworks?
At the Waterworks, we mean clean. We'll get your drains good as new on the first down. And as for him, well, there's always the Buckeyes. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results.
This year's starting lineup at Honda Marysville is strong as ever with low monthly payments on some of our most popular models. Lease a new 25 Civic Sport or HRV all-wheel drive. You choose just $259 a month for 36 months. Or get a new 24 Accord Hybrid Sport for just $299 a month. And don't forget our $49 oil change where we'll get it done in an hour or it's free. So come and see us. Honda's built here, Honda's sold here. Honda Marysville. We're closer than you think.
36-month closed down lease with approved credit, $39.99. With signing payment does not include taxes or fees. 10,000 miles per year cannot combine first, not valid on previous sales. Offer expires 9/30/24.
1 in 3 student athletes gets disturbing messages from sports bettors. This threatens the safety and mental health of college athletes like Tyler.
I'm a student and an athlete. I don't deserve to be threatened over my play. If you're upset about your sports bet, don't take it out on me, because I'm more than a bet.
These threats are not acceptable. Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford. That means we got the car you need at the price you want. But don't take it from me. Hear it from
Ohio State captain Travion Henderson.
Reichert has what I'm looking for.
Jack Sawyer.
Grew up watching these guys on TV. My family's bought tons of cars for them.
Cody Simon.
You get the right car at Reichert. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
Thousands of vehicles are waiting. ReichertFord.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We are live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
My kids call me Tom. So unnerving. Every day, the older one's like, how you doing, Tom? I go, hey, I'm not your stepdad, all right? I wish I was. It'd be a lot easier, but I'm not.
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to Schottenstein Center Friday, October 4th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Tom Segura, Come Together.
Full inventory sale at Logan Services. Save up to $2,500 and 0% APR financing for 72 months on a qualifying train system. Plus, your choice of one air quality freebie. It's hard to stop a train with a system for every home and budget. Now, for a limited time, save up to $1,000 on a water heater and water conditioning combo. Ask us about tax credits when you book your free estimate now. Logan Services.
You want an easy way to feed your friends? You get a Jersey Mike's catering box. You want an exciting radio idea? You get me. Like this. There's a Jersey Mike's catering box off the coast of Corsica that needs rescuing. Me and a team of mercenaries go in, barrel rolling past the sleeping guard, and we find the catering box in a secret bunker. I say, men, let's get these 12 subs home. But they're already eating them. That's the problem with mercenaries. You can't trust them. The Jersey Mike's catering box, a sub above.
When you travel, they always say, get a room with a view. And there's no better way to travel than in a roomy new Toyota, like the best-selling RAV4. Now through September 30th, get 4.99 APR financing on a new gas-powered 2024 RAV4. Or lease a RAV4 LE for $339 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details. Or go to Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Time now to get a look at that 10 TV weather impact forecast. Today, looking at clouds and showers. It won't be quite as windy as yesterday. Looking at a high around 74. Tonight, cloudy with a few showers, low around 60. And then heading into tomorrow, we're going to be looking at a much drier day, although there could be a few showers from time to time with highs in the low 70s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
It's game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Reichert Ford.
Have fun. Keep your pads on. Go Bucks. Always and forever your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. How do you know it's Buckeye game day?
Oh, no.
Because I've ripped my shirt off in celebration. Do you like the Brutus tattoo on my chest? This is the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. The Fan's one tough animal.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVier, Posey, getting you ready for Ohio State, Michigan State. Buckeyes on the road for the first time this season, on the road under the lights. Before we get back into some Buckeye talk, we're going to zoom out from Ohio State, look around college football, and shine a light on a couple guys that balled out last week. Depot, I'm going to let you lead it off, man. Who you want to shine a light on this week?
Quarterback Alonzo Barnett the third. The thrice, the third coming, third time's a charm for Alonzo Barnett family. Okay. From James Madison, Barnett helped put up 70 points, Bake. He scored five pass touchdowns, 2 rushing, 7 touchdowns total by him versus North Carolina Tar Heels. He went 22 for 34. James Madison is off to a hot start. They're 3-0. And you talking about coming in to North Carolina and putting up a 70 burger.
What is that?
70 burger.
That's a joke. If you're in North Carolina, that's just an absolute joke right there. But listen, Mac Brown, they've had some good years. They've had some good quarterback play. Maybe this is just a down year for them. But North Carolina should never have 70 points put on their head by James Madison.
Any team in Power 5 shouldn't get 70 points scored on them from a team like James Madison. But, I mean, hey, like, maybe this Alonzo Barnett, the thrice, is the real deal.
You may be on to something.
Maybe he's the real deal.
What year is he? Is he a sophomore?
Let's look him up.
Is he a junior? Because I'm curious, when you make a splash like that, and if he balls out the rest of the way, I won't be surprised if some other programs come a-calling.
You know what I mean? Like, no, this is definitely his portal. This is his opening game on the portal tape. For sure.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, if he's a sophomore or something, oh, yeah, there's going to be a lot of those collectives saying
the North Carolina game is his portal.
Come on over to our side of the the realm. We got something for you. What year is he?
So we're looking at a 6 foot. 6 foot sophomore, redshirt sophomore. So he has about 3 more years.
He's got some time.
He got some time.
He's got some time. He's got to finish strong, though. You know, a guy that played really well last week, and my one tough animal is going to be Luke Altmaier. Luke Altmaier is the quarterback for Illinois. Illinois, big-time game tonight at 7:30. I got a problem with these 3 games all kicking off at the same time. I'm not here for this.
What?
Ohio State, Michigan State, Illinois, Penn State, and Georgia, Alabama all kicking at the same time. What are we doing?
Let me ask you. You're not splitting the screen?
I don't have it.
Oh, that's why I sent at you.
I don't have it.
Just drop the bread, Matty. You got the money. Split the screen.
I heard the YouTube TV thing is where I need to be.
Split the screen.
It will happen eventually because tonight is going to stress me out.
This is what's going to make you do it.
This is going to stress me out.
This is what's going to make you do it.
But Luke Altmaier, last week, this was a Friday night game a week ago. Illinois, Brett Bielema squad, they go in Lincoln, Nebraska. The game goes into overtime, and they come out of there with a win, 31-24. Luke Altmaier, 21 of 27, 215 through the air, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. The man has thrown 10 touchdowns this year and does not have a single interception. So he's going into another tough environment today, or tonight, I should say, over there against Penn State. But you got to give it to the man. He's got a 71% completion percentage at the moment, Depot, and he is just playing clean football. And Brett Bielema, quietly, since he arrived at Illinois, they just been rolling out a good product. They've been rolling out a good product. Their defense has really been intact over the last 3 to 4 years, and now it seems like he's got a veteran quarterback that knows what it takes to win inside this conference. It has gotten better from 2023 into 24.
And also a mark of good coaching is the tree that bears fruit.
Yeah.
His coaching tree has already produced a Ryan Walters to Purdue. He's had Witherspoon. Newton has been drafted in the second round.
Some dudes.
So, just in his short time, he's been able to produce first and second round draft picks and opposing Big Ten head coaches.
Crazy.
So it's working.
Yeah, you got to give Brett Bielema his flowers. I mean, he's one of the top coaches around this conference, and especially when you subtract Harbaugh out of the equation now, his name climbs those ranks. So you've got obviously the Ryan Days and the James Franklins and the Lannings. Like, this guy needs to be in that conversation with what he's doing up there at Illinois and the seasoning that he has from coaching at Wisconsin. He knows what it takes to get it done inside this conference. So that should absolutely be a fun game tonight. Let's get back to some Buckeye conversation. Let's hear from Will Howard, because there's been a theme this week just about what's going on, Depot, with the aerial attack and maybe why that hasn't been as explosive. Here's Will Howard on pushing the ball down the field.
I think at the end of the day, it's just repetitions. And I don't think last game we had a lot of opportunities and we didn't really need to push the ball down the field. I mean, when you got guys taking 53 yards on a slant route, I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. And obviously, we want to push the ball down the field. And I think in practice, I've made some strides in it. We've done some good things. We haven't shown it a ton, which can be a good and a bad thing. I think we do have the ability to do it, and I need to be able to show that. I don't think I've shown that yet, but I'm excited to to get more opportunities to do that, because it's a young season and we got a lot of time, and pushing the ball down the field is one of the things that I think our offense should be one of our strengths and can be one of our strengths because of the dudes we have in that room. And for me, it's really just letting those guys go out there and make plays, and just putting the ball up for them, and just trusting that they're going to be where they're supposed to be. And at the end of the day, the more that we work it in practice, and the more that we're going to be able to do it in the game.
Everybody wants the home run. Everybody wants the home runs, but sometimes you can be an offense that can hit singles and doubles and be as effective.
Yeah.
And I think for Ohio State right now, and Will just laid it out, he's like, listen, I got it in my bag. That's a club I can go to if I need it on this hole. But what I can do is get it to Emeka, Jeremiah, and these running backs, and get it to them quickly and allow those guys to rip off a bunch of yak, and we could still be an explosive offense. So it's something that I'm not concerned about, because I do think when they need to go to that, if and when they do need to do that, Depot, they can do it.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's now follow me here. Ohio State's defense played against a team who would, I call it dink and dunk down the field. We're just gonna dink you here, dunk it here, throw it here. We're going to take 5. We're going to take 3, run for 8. Yeah. We're going to take, put it in. As an offense, what that does is it controls the time of possession, but at the same time, like, you're limiting your possession numbers because you're taking so much time. Mm-hmm. So, like, when you score fast, think Emeka Egbuka's touchdown. Think Stetson Bennett, after we score a touchdown, they throw one in like 13 seconds in Atlanta. I'm still pissed about that. But when you can score fast and you have an explosive offense, there's times for that. But why would we ever play against a defense? I mean, like, why would our offense ever play against a defense like, hey, like, we just we're comfortable dinking and dunking down the field. And I just think, like, just that mindset, it was our defense's first time going against that. Mm-hmm. And it's an adjustment. It's a lot of East and West, right? Like, Caleb and Ransom really weren't challenged at all. They were kind of like out of the game. As safeties, you can fall asleep. And I just think when you have an offense that can score so fast, especially with Ohio State, because when you think about that Marshall, I was in the building, you think about that Marshall drive, right? They dinked and dunked down the field, opening drive. It was our defense's first time seeing, like, oh, okay, wow, like, they're going to push us to the right flat. Now they're going to push us over here. Now they're going to hit us with a spot. Now they're going to run a dive. And then right away, we run 2 plays and we score. It's not sustainable versus this team because we score too fast.
I hear you. I absolutely hear you on that.
You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna take a trip up to East Lansing next and talk to the man that sits on the Iron Throne here at 10 TV. He's Adam King. He'll join us after the break. It's the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the things you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no meds, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited truck month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
decision. My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Van Scoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Whenever someone works on my home, I want it to be a company I can trust that has a long-standing reputation, that you can stand behind their work, that you can build a relationship with. Well, that company for my roof, well, it was Newman Roofing. They have created a culture centered around creating an excellent customer experience for each project they are trusted with. They are committed to delivering a quality product every time, as they view each customer as a Central Ohio neighbor. At Newman Roofing, their commitment to you doesn't just end when the job is done. They're there to support you for the life of your roof, and you know you can trust them because of the longevity of their company and their family-owned. With their lifetime workmanship warranty, you feel confident that the decision to invest in your roof with Newman is going to be protected by a company that's been in business since 1992, and they're going to be around for generations more to come. So when you're looking for a repair or a full roof replacement, call the family company you can trust. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. 614-NEW-ROOF at newmanroofing.com.
Welcome to the greatest show on turf at Great Lakes Kia. I'm pretty sure that's just tile. And you can feel the excitement in the air. Brand new Kia is under $5 a day.
I'm Bart Zimmerman, General Manager at Great Lakes Kia.
Bart's coming up big. Lease new 24 Kia Forte LXS, EV Wind, and Sorrento LX.
Under $5 a day. $5.
Oh, and the fan favorite, new 24 Kia Telluride LX, under $8 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
Even new 24 Kia Carnival LXS, under $9 a day.
There's a flag on the play. It looks like credit interference.
No problem. Get approved with 1.9% financing.
Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus,
GreatLakesKia.com.
Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
Brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Let's catch you up on what's going on right now in the top 25. Number 6, Ole Miss, late in the third quarter. They trail Kentucky by a score of 13-10. Number 12, Michigan, hammering Minnesota. 1 minute left to go in the third there. 24-3 is the score. 6:25 left in the third. Number 23, Kansas State, has a 28-13 lead over number 20, Oklahoma State. Number 22, BYU, also late in the third, has a 34-21 lead over Baylor. Coming up at 3:30, number 13, USC takes on Wisconsin. Also at 3:30, number 15, Louisville on the road at number 16, Notre Dame. Number 21, Oklahoma taking on Auburn today. And then, of course, later tonight, we've got number 2, Georgia taking on Alabama. And number 3, Ohio State up in East Lansing taking on Michigan State. This one brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Getting you ready for another Buckeye victory. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. Matty,
at the end of the day, it's just repetitions. And
DeVier, Posey here with you, getting you ready for Ohio State and Michigan State. We're going to go up to East Lansing right now and chop it up with the man that sits on the Iron Throne at 10 TV. His name is Adam King, AK. Happy game day. Happy Big Ten season. What's up, my man?
How we doing? It's beautiful here in East Lansing. No rain right now. I don't know what the weather's like back in Columbus, but I heard it wasn't great last night.
You know, it's been raining for a while. It's been raining for a while. It took me about an hour to get home yesterday because of traffic and the rain, and it usually takes me about 15 minutes. So if that lets you know what we were dealing with down here, it was pretty bad. But I'm not complaining because, AK, as you know, it seemed like we went through a drought for about a month and a half with no rain down here in Columbus.
Yeah, every golf course I played looked like we were out in Arizona, so I think they're all pretty happy about what happened yesterday.
Absolutely. Adam, have you had your pregame meal yet?
I have. I actually just ate at a place called the Nut House, ironically, and it was packed with Buckeye fans here watching the Minnesota-Michigan game, and I'll give you a hint. There weren't a lot of people rooting for Michigan.
There it is.
What do we eat?
Yeah, I was going to say I wanted to give you some referrals.
Oh, I should have asked. I let our photographer Bill Price pick the meals yesterday and today, and I had a nice barbecue pulled pork sandwich. It lived up to the hype. You know what they say about Lansing? It's the barbecue capital of Michigan. So.
Ah, yeah. I wanted you to go to this place called Big John's. Steak and onions. They have subs. You get the extra Big John sauce, and if they still have this place, it's called Lou and Harry's. They have the best dressing in the world. Like the dress. It's not even about the salad.
You spending a lot of time up in East Lansing?
My in-laws are from East Lansing. My father-in-law went to Michigan. Say, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't have the kind of money that you have. So our budget just allows McDonald's to the Nut House.
No, see, what Adam isn't saying is Adam just got back from Greece.
I think Adam also may have a pretty nice car out in the parking lot.
Yes,
too.
I see it.
All right.
I think I see new plates out there.
All right, AK, let's get down to business. Buckeyes, they take care of Marshall last week at home. Been a little chatter this week about, Marshall came out and they went down the field and drove on this defense. The Buckeye defense allowed too many first downs for Marshall's offense. Are you concerned at all about some of the things that you saw defensively last week that you think could be a problem long term? Or do you look at that and say, okay, this is a team that came off of a bye week and had some things to work through? Where are you at currently with what you saw defensively?
So I kind of throw out that opening drive for two reasons. One, they were coming back from the bye week. And two, opening drives, teams can do kind of whatever they want. I always go all the way back. You remember the Oregon National Championship game in 2015? They went down the field like they were world beaters, and then they never did it again. Teams have scripted plays. I don't think that the first drive of any game is going to tell you the story. I think there's some worry on the defensive line there, but I don't think there's too much. I mean, you got to remember these guys, as Ryan said earlier this week, sacks don't tell the whole story. They're not just being put in there and blitzing every play. And, they didn't want Marshall's quarterback to run all over them. He ran a little bit, but they were trying to keep him from, getting out to the edge and trying to keep everything contained. And so, yeah, I mean, there's certainly stuff to grow on. There's a reason there wasn't a defensive player of the game. But I think if you went back 5 years, maybe go back to the year 2018 and tell people that we've given up 20 points at the shoe the Buckeyes have in the first three games, they'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, Adam, no, you're right about that. I wanted to ask you, is it a big story? Should we be reading into this, Knowles and Coach Day not giving any defensive player of the game, although we won? Like, is the standard that high?
I think it should be. I mean, I think the standard is the best defense in the country. I think the standard is they want to shut out every game. Is that possible? No. But it's not ridiculous to think. I mean, Ohio State, it always feels like the opening drive, they get a little bit on their heels. That just happens. But once they settle in, I mean, it's going to be tough for any offense to move the ball. And so I think I have Michigan State scoring 10 in my prediction. Like, I don't think that being upset with 2 touchdowns is ridiculous. I just also don't think it's anything to worry about.
We were talking earlier, AK, about the dynamic duo at running back right now with Quinshon and Travion. And Travion, he spoke to you guys this week, and he mentioned that Quinshon's the best running back in the country in his opinion. Just talk about that duo and what they've done so far within this offense and how much of a weapon you believe that will be the rest of the way for Ohio State.
Well, I think there's it's like a meme where it says, "I'm sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game."
Yeah, the Shaq meme. Yeah.
Yes. I knew Quinshon Judkins was good. I knew when he came here he was going to be a good running back. I knew he might even be a great running back. I didn't realize how fast Quinshon Judkins is. I mean, the man makes moves that are unbelievable, and then he has the ability to take what should be a 4-yard play, and the next thing you know, he's 80 yards downfield, and you don't know how it happened. And that in its own right is something this Buckeye offense has been missing. I will say fans need to put a little more respect on Travion's name this year. He is finally healthy. I mean, you think back to when this guy first came on the scene at Ohio State. People were so excited to see him. He had all of this freshman hype. he got dinged up the last 2 years. He wasn't able to stay healthy, and it showed. He's healthy now, and he's got the ability to make guys miss. He's credited Carlos Lachlan for a lot of what has made him so dominant this year. This duo, I think, undoubtedly the best duo in the country.
Adam, I wanted to get your take on when will Howard keep an RPO? I get it, but like me and Matty were joking at the beginning of the show, and he referenced Thanos' Infinity Stones, and he said, "Hey, like that, having a running quarterback and implementing Will Howard into the running game is the last Infinity Stone to this offense." Like, what do you feel about that and getting him out in space with his feet?
Well, I think it's two things, and I'm going to give you a little coach speak here. I think you do it when you have to do it. And I don't think they've needed to do it. I don't think you ever want your quarterback out running if he doesn't have to. You don't ever want him taking hits if he doesn't have to. I think you just let him go play his game and see, how it goes. And, yeah, if he needs to keep it on an RPO to get a first down, he'll do it. When the time comes, he will make the play. But he doesn't need it right now. I mean, he's got so many weapons. He's got, as you guys said, the Infinity Stones around him. Right now, he doesn't need to use the full gauntlet.
Absolutely.
AK, we'll get you out of here on this one. Let the folks know where they can follow you on socials. What's the TV schedule looking like for you throughout the day and into the evening?
Well, tonight we'll have a little pregame coverage on 10 TV, just a quick little thing from East Lansing, because we also got football on. Then a live postgame on the 11 o'clock news, plus wall-to-wall sports, a complete postgame show. And don't forget, 9 a.m. every Saturday, Game Time with Ryan Day, the official coaches show of Ohio State Athletics.
There we go. And one last thing, your final score, I think you referenced that you're giving Michigan State 10 points in this one. How much are you giving the Scarlet and Gray?
45 for the Buckeyes.
45-10. 45-10. Okay, you have them covering. Vegas has it at a 23.5-point spread. Can't wait to follow you throughout the day and evening, AK, and we'll talk to you next week for a home game against Iowa. Safe travels coming back, man. We'll see you soon.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
There he goes. Adam King, 10 TV's own right there, joining us live from East Lansing. When we come back, it's time for Behind Enemy Lines. Chris Solari does a great job of covering Michigan State. You will hear that interview next. It is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Can I tase Common Man in the nuts? Fine by us, but he may like it. Common Man and Tebow.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
When you travel, they always say, get a room with a view. And there's no better way to travel than in a roomy new Toyota. Like the family-size Highlander with room for up to 8. Now through September 30th, you can lease a Highlander XLE all-wheel drive for $489 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I want to tell you about my friends over at Newman Roofing. When I needed a new roof, there was only one company I was going to call, and that was Newman. Because as a family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing understands the importance of creating a customer experience centered around values that's built on a foundation of trust and integrity. Newman Roofing has been maintaining its commitment to the company's core values for over 32 years, and it shows, folks. When we dealt with them, they were fantastic. Each team member we dealt with, they were dedicated to respecting both you and your property in hopes of creating a lasting relationship with each family they interact with. If you're someone who values quality workmanship and excellent customer experience, then Newman Roofing, well, there's nowhere else to go. It's the company for you. So whether you need a small roof repair or a complete roof replacement like I did, the team at Newman Roofing approaches every job with the same level of care and excellence. So give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. NewmanRoofing.com.
Bobcat Enterprises is your family-owned partner for landscaping and construction projects since 1975. Find great deals on our full line of Bobcat equipment, including a 36-month, 2,000-hour full warranty on Bobcat compact track loaders and skid steers. And right now, get financing as low as 0% for 48 months on select equipment. Build local. Stop by Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville to find current specials, or see our full line of products at bobcatent.com today.
Start Reaction Monday off in style with Bobby and Beam on Morning Juice. They're talking Buckeyes at 6:20, 7:20, and 8:20, and probably all the other minutes in between.
Reaction Monday is sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Hey, you've reached Teresa and Benny. You know the drill.
Hey, Teresa, it's Armando from Chase. Congrats on closing. I'm sure Benny will love playing fetch in your new backyard.
Your Chase Home Lending Advisor will be there from pre-approval to closing. We're with you all the way home. Chase, make more of what's yours. Visit chase.com/home. Home lending products subject to credit and property approval. Rates and program terms subject to change. Other restrictions apply. Member FDIC. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Ohio's pickup truck headquarters, Valley Ford of Columbus. Whether you're heading to the game or heading to the job site, Valley has the Ford F-150 selection to bring home a winner. Take it from me, a real Valley Ford customer. Buy or lease, you're going to save big money. That's because my team at Valley always works hard to get you the better deal because they know you work harder. Keep on trucking with Valley Ford of Columbus, the official dealership of Carnell Tate and T-Bone. More details, valleyfordofcolumbus.com.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your flagship home for Buckeye football, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. The Fans behind enemy lines.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers. Visit your local Central Ohio Ford dealer today.
All right, welcome back in. Behind enemy lines this week is going to be Chris Solari. He covers Michigan State. Football does a fantastic job of doing that for the Detroit Free Press. Here is the interview Anthony and I did with him yesterday.
I do want to kind of go back before the year and get your feeling on this roster that's been reconstructed. I know that new coach, new quarterback. Chris, how many transfers did Jonathan Smith bring in this year?
I think the final total of new bodies, including the incoming freshmen, were 61, which is basically, 100, and that's half a 120-man roster right there. I mean, that's a lot, but and I think they had about 24. They were a little light on the freshmen, so there's a lot more transfers. I feel it was, but they've meshed so far, particularly the defensive guys they brought in.
I want to ask you about Aiden Childs because he's starting to be a name that you hear people talk about, and they say, you know what, it may not be a right now thing with him, but you see what he can be down the road. What have you learned about Aiden Childs for the Buckeye fans that haven't had a chance to watch him yet? Talk about the quarterback for the Spartans right now.
Yeah, I think the first thing is I've been impressed with who he is. He's got a good sense of himself and his team for a 19-year-old. He's got a world of potential and talent. I mean, you see it with his escapability from pressure, and I do think Michigan State will going to give up a lot of pressure this year and this week because their offensive line is so suspect. But he's shown the ability to spin away from pressure. He's learning his reads, and he's learning what defenses are trying to do, and he's learning how to throw passes with touch. He's got a big arm, but it's going to take time. And, by taking time, I don't think anybody thought that they would go to Maryland and win, and I don't think that anybody thought they were, a whisper away from winning
at Boston College to being 4-0 coming into this game. So maybe he's a little bit ahead of schedule, but it's going to be a process with the kid because I do think that he has the kind of game-changing potential of maybe like an Anthony Richardson or one of those kind of guy. I mean, I'd hesitate to say Stroud, but, there's a high ceiling. I mean, the ceiling is there for Childs to kind of get to that point.
We are talking with our friend Chris Solari, who covers Sparty for the Detroit Free Press here on Rothman and Ice. Does he have a running game he can lean on at all this year? I know they've got a few backs they use. Tell me about this running game. It seems like over the years, Michigan State has always had a little semblance of a running game. Can he lean on one for this Saturday at all?
That's been kind of an issue. And, I mean, they've had some big hitters between Nate Carter, who you guys saw last year, and K'Ron Lynch-Adams, who's from Youngstown, Warren area, started his career at Rutgers and mostly played at UMass before transferring in. I think both those guys have shown some burst. The problem is the offensive line has been suspect. And, I mean, and when I say suspect, I mean there have been multiple occasions in multiple games where Nate Carter is taking a handoff in the backfield 6 yards deep, 5 yards deep, and a defender or two defenders are in his face. That's problematic, and that's something they're going to look to address. They've lost their starting right guard, and then their second starting right guard. So they're down to their third right guard, who happened to begin the year at left tackle. I don't know what the line's going to look like. They may reconfigure it again, but running the ball has been a major issue for a number of years, even back to the end of Mark D'Antonio's tenure. And, with the exception maybe of that Kenneth Walker year. But in this series, it has been it's been unbelievable how much Ohio State has dominated MSU when it comes to the ground game. In the last 7 years, really, and the last 4 years in particular, it's been thorough dominance.
So, Chris, down here in Columbus, there's so much excitement about the future of Jeremiah Smith at the wide receiver position, but it does seem like up there where you guys get busy on Saturdays that there's some excitement around another freshman wide receiver in the conference, and Nick Marsh. Talk about his game and what have you seen from him so far this year?
Yeah, I tried to get their cornerback or their safeties coach to compare the two this week. Blue Adams wouldn't bite on that, but I do think Nick Marsh sat out last week's game at Boston College. He took a helmet to the knee in the Prairie View A&M game, but finished the game. That was in like the end of the first quarter, but then he didn't play. So he's a late week look, as well as Jerron Glover, one of their other receivers, and Antonio Gates. So they were down 4 receivers last week. But Nick Marsh has the kind of speed to take you off the top. I mean, he could take the top off, and you saw it at Maryland. He ran a couple deep post routes, and Childs and him have incredible chemistry already. He had 2 long passes in that game that you just watched, and you're like, where's that been? And he also he's got the size and toughness to make catches over the middle and underneath. He's a special player, and I think that there was a reason that he was the one recruit that I think that when Jonathan Smith took over, they identified and realized we cannot lose this kid. Losing him last week proved an issue when they lost at Boston College, so we'll see if he's able to go this week.
Listen, they gave up a tough play at the end of that game. I mean, you're right. They'd be undefeated. Maybe the narrative would feel a little differently, but this defense, are they led? Is Jordan Turner the guy? Is he the key player for them?
Well, it's interesting because I do think it's a collective right now. I thought we would see maybe, a Jordan Turner or a Cal Halliday or even the other linebacker, Jordan Hall, who was a freshman All-American last year. So I thought we would see them be the guy, but they lost a bunch of guys on the defensive line, particularly a tackle. They've brought in guys that have more than filled the hole. I mean, guys like Ben Roberts from I believe LSU. They brought in Anthony Jones from Indiana on the edge. They brought in a number of different guys, Quindarius Dunnigan from Middle Tennessee State, and it's meshed. And they've listened and bought into Joe Rossi's system, and I think having brought him from Minnesota, poached him away from PJ Fleck, I think that was maybe Jonathan Smith's biggest win so far in his tenure, because Rossi's defense looks a lot like the old Pat Narduzzi defenses in terms of swarming the ball and getting pressure. It's going to be interesting to see when he gets his players in there how good they can be, because I think he's got the chance to be in that Narduzzi type territory from a schemer and from an aggression standpoint with his calling of the defense.
Zooming out from this game and looking at the road ahead for Michigan State, some of the big branded programs within the conference are still on that schedule. How would you qualify success for Jonathan Smith in year one when you look at what's to come?
Yeah, I still think it comes down to just making a bowl game and being competitive. I mean, this game in particular, it is, to me, and Mark D'Antonio always used it as a benchmark game. I think this is kind of a benchmark in some ways for Jonathan Smith to show that they've turned the pages from the Mel Tucker era to be more competitive. Because how D'Antonio was, and when him and Meyer went against each other, it was a competitive game, even if it was a loss for Michigan State. The last few years, it hasn't been. And, I mean, these games have been over by halftime. So that, to me, in the small picture this week, success looks like being in it at halftime, giving yourself a chance into the second half and into the fourth quarter. Doesn't necessarily mean winning, but looking a lot more competitive. And I think from the bigger picture, get that 6 wins, maybe get to 7 wins, get to a bowl game, the extra practices, and really build towards next year with Childs as the guy at quarterback. I think those are the big keys that this program needs right now because of how much turnover and turmoil there was in the last year.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Chris. Great breakdown, my man. Enjoy Saturday, and hopefully we'll talk to you before 2027. Who knows?
All right, guys. Well, maybe we'll catch up during basketball season.
No doubt. Thanks, Chris. Take care.
There it goes. Chris Solari behind enemy lines this week does a great job covering Michigan State for the Detroit Free Press. Top of the hour, when we come back, who's got the heat? We're putting some pressure on a player, team, or coach around college football that needs to take it to another level. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited truck month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the things you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no meds, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point-of-sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Top Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
If your air conditioning or furnace stops working in the middle of the night, on a weekend, or over a holiday, there's no reason to wait to get it fixed. For 100 years, Atlas Butler has been here for your family. We're always open, we work on all furnace and air conditioner brands, and it's easy and convenient to request service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
When you travel, they always say, get a room with a view. And there's no better way to travel than with family, like the Toyota truck family. Now through September 30th, get $2,000 customer cash on a new 24 Tundra, depending on model. Or lease a Tacoma SR double cab for $319 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns for its biggest year yet. For the first time with Metallica. 2 nights, 2 different set lists, no repeat weekend. Plus exclusive Metallica experiences. With Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, and over 100 more bands to be announced. 4 days, May 8th to the 11th at historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Select passes on sale now at sonictemplefestival.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
Brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker, getting ready for number 3, Ohio State, kicking off the Big Ten season tonight up in East Lansing when they take on Michigan State at 7:30. Of course, you can hear it all right here on the Fan Network, coverage getting underway at 5:30. We've got 3 games going on right now in the Big Ten, all of them in the fourth quarter. Minnesota has scored 14 fourth quarter points, but they still trail number 12 Michigan 24-17. Indiana has jumped out to a 35-21 lead over Maryland. Curtis O'Rourke, 3 touchdown passes in that one. And Nebraska has scored a touchdown in the third and the fourth quarters both. They have a 14-3 lead over Purdue. Wisconsin and USC coming up at 3:30. Illinois, Penn State at 7:30. Oregon, UCLA at 10. This one's sponsored by Valley Ford of Columbus. They're Ohio's commercial truck headquarters.
Can you smell it? Buckeye football is in the air. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your home for the Buckeyes, the Fan. As you prepare for another Buckeye football Saturday, one very important question remains. Who's got the heat?
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Let Logan Services bring the heat to your home this season. Free same-day estimates, next-day installation. Logan Services.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVier, Posey, getting you ready for Ohio State and Michigan State. 7:30 kick on Peacock. Just a reminder there for the folks that missed that or have missed that all week. The game is on Peacock. Who's got the heat for me this week, Depot? I'm looking at this Georgia-Alabama game. Georgia-Alabama, it's going to be rocking in Tuscaloosa. I can't imagine what the energy is like right now just in that city. Around the stadium, the the tailgates, the grills, the keg stands, just everything that's happening around there. Like, I'm jealous. I got FOMO from not being in that environment because it doesn't get much better than this in the regular season. But I'm putting heat on both secondaries for these teams, Georgia and Alabama. Carson Beck in this offense, the last time we saw them, they struggled against Kentucky. They made them sweat it out. You have now Georgia coming off a bye. I believe Alabama is also coming off a bye. But if you're Carson Beck, when you look at this Alabama secondary, 9 of the 12 members in that room are either first-year players or transfers. So Carson Beck is looking at an Alabama secondary that is inexperienced. He's always been a quarterback that's been efficient with his playmaking skills, with his arm. And on the flip side of that, if you are Georgia's secondary, you got to worry about this kid, Ryan Williams, for Alabama, who is an absolute beast, Depot. We know Jeremiah Smith up here is an absolute dog. Michigan State has Nick Marsh as a freshman. He can go at wide receiver. But down there in Tuscaloosa, they have this 17-year-old in Ryan Williams that's averaging 28.5 yards per catch. Oh, man. And he and Jalen Milroe have a great connection.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe last year showed everybody that he can be one of the best deep ball throwers in the country. That has continued into 2024. So between Georgia and Alabama, I'm putting the heat on both their secondaries to not allow big plays because we know both these quarterbacks can play clean football and hurt you down the field.
I got a few people I want to put some heat on. I'm going to start in the NFL. I think the Buffalo Bills have some heat on them this week.
Really?
If you look at the record, you got a 1-win team coming in to play you, right? Are they going to Baltimore?
They're going to the bank.
They're going to the bank. I'm sorry. So you're on the road. You got a 1-win team. Obviously, we know who this 1-win team is. It's the Baltimore Ravens. But Josh Allen has been playing lights out.
It's been good.
You know, we've been hearing how great this team is. And, you know, just around this time of year, after the first 3, 4, 5 weeks of the season, you learn the pretenders and who are the contenders. And the Ravens had a gauntlet coming out, right? I mean, you start the season with this defending Super Bowl champs, AFC championship rematch. I'm putting the heat on McDermott and Josh Allen because this is a pressure game for them to see if they're for real or not.
Okay, I like it. You said you had a couple. Who else you got?
Oh, and the next people I'm putting it on Miller Moss, Zachariah Branch, and Lincoln.
Okay.
I watched that Michigan game, and I really like Zachariah Branch as a player. There were some third downs. I specifically remember a fourth down where it was some physical Big Ten sitting in zones, making tough catches, right? Like maybe catching it and making one person miss and getting upfield, right? Miller Moss had a lot of pressure. If this team loses to Wisconsin in about 30 minutes, the game starts. I might be totally wrong about USC.
You've been right all along. I got to give you your flowers on that. You have been in on USC before we saw them do anything on the field this year.
Well, my point in bringing those plays up with Zachariah Branch and that physicality that Michigan played with is we as Big Ten guys, Matty, and growing up around this is like when that weather get cold, you're talking about guys from cities like Dayton and Cleveland and Indianapolis and Gary and Chicago,
Midwest.
Detroit, Midwest players, just dogs from, hardworking, family-oriented, humble cities that play physical football. We're not from LA. We don't surf on the weekends. We're not looking at the Hollywood sign. I just wonder if this USC team might be too Hollywood for some guys from the Milwaukee area.
Okay, I like this call.
You know what I mean?
So you got Fick and company. They're out on the left coast.
Yeah.
Chesma Lucy, we know, is a solid running back. How does USC handle physicality after having to deal with it last week up in Ann Arbor? I'll add one more to this as well. I'm going with the Penn State offense.
I was so happy you brought this up.
I'm going with the Penn State offense because so far, so good.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't played anybody.
No.
They played Bowling Green. The Falcons made them sweat it out for a while. Their last game out, they whooped up on Kent State. That's just a bad football team. But now you have Illinois coming into your house.
Pretty good football team.
A very good football team right now, in my opinion, that has confidence after what they did on the road in Lincoln, Nebraska. To me, that's a big deal, Depot.
It is.
If they hadn't checked that box already talking Illinois, then I'd be like, I'm a little worried how they're going to handle that environment. But the fact that they did that on a standalone game Friday night, we know Nebraska, when they're good, even when they're bad, honestly, it's a tough environment to play in. But right now, with the juice around that program, there's a lot to be said about that environment in Lincoln, Nebraska. But there was a shift offensively this offseason, that James Franklin made to his offensive coaching staff. He brought in Andy Kotelnicki. Andy Kotelnicki was the offensive coordinator at Kansas. He played with Jalen Daniels. He was at Kansas. Jaden Daniels was at LSU. I always get those mixed up.
Jalen, yeah.
Jalen is at Kansas.
Yeah.
But you turn the page to 2024, and a major question mark for Penn State was, Depot, can they be explosive offensively? And so far, they have been. They've got 6 plays from scrimmage of 40 yards or more, and Drew Aller ranks 5th in the country in air yards per attempt. So now here comes Illinois, led by defensive coordinator Aaron Henry, who has taken over for that defensive unit, and they're doing good things. So Illinois comes in with a hot quarterback in Luke Altmaier, 10 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a defense that's pretty good too. I'm putting the heat on Penn State's offense to not shrivel up and go back to what they've been over the last year or two, and can they still create explosive plays tonight?
I like it. I would like to see a big play from our guy Julian Fleming tonight.
You know what? He's not a bad call.
I would love to just see him get off.
How's he been doing? I want to check on this.
He has 3
quick.
receptions for 63 yards and no touchdowns.
Okay.
39 yards is his longest yardage per catch that he's had. But no, I like that. I mean, this game has Big Ten implications all over it. I think, the legacy of James Franklin is at stake here. He's had multiple opportunities. A lot of people have doned him a program CEO versus an X's and O's guy.
Okay.
And sometimes you just need an X's and O's guy, somebody who just knows football rather they can organize and get staff. Because what happens with those CEO guys is they can point fingers like, well, it's my coordinator or this is that. Like, I know how to organize this thing, and it's just like,
I feel you.
Like, how many more times, how many more coordinators are you going to blame James?
Fair. It's absolutely fair. When we come back, we'll hit you with our East to West segment. We'll give you some scores happening around the Big Ten. And apparently, we got to start putting some respect on the team that plays football in Bloomington, Indiana. Because this is getting,
come on.
This is getting realer by the week. My goodness. We'll give you an update of what's happening in Bloomington and everything else around the conference, and our final thoughts on Ohio State and Michigan State next. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
First down! Yes!
Oh, what? Just cleared that drain last week.
Well, clearly that didn't work. Would you please just call the waterworks?
At the Waterworks, we mean clean. We'll get your drains good as new on the first down. And as for him, well, there's always the Buckeyes. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford. That means we got the car you need at the price you want. But don't take it from me. Hear it from
Ohio State captain Travion Henderson.
Reichert has what I'm looking for.
Jack Sawyer.
Grew up watching these guys on TV. My family's bought tons of cars for them.
Cody Simon.
You get the right car at Reichert. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
Thousands of vehicles are waiting. ReichertFord.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I cannot imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
The Buckeye Show.
What were you guys yelling on the Braxton play, 2015?
Well, everybody said, he's back. He's back. That's what everybody was saying.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
When you travel, they always say, get a room with a view. And there's no better way to travel than the roomy new Toyota Camry. It's all hybrid all the time, so you can take your travels even farther. Now through September 30th, you can lease a Camry LE for $299 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing with approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Book your room now. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the things you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no meds, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
I've been doing this for almost 35 years. I learned everything from my grandfather. We still do everything old school. We do things the way I was taught to do them. We take care of our employees, we take care of their families, we take care of our clients. That's part of running a good business. We will always do business the right way, which I feel is the only way.
Visit Rosati Windows and save 35% on all windows.
Football is built on tradition, and so is the Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. With a lifetime powertrain warranty on every vehicle purchase, you know you're getting a relationship that's built to last. Need service? Our Carvenience service takes care of everything, from picking up your vehicle to dropping it off when it's done, leaving you with a rental car in between. And with 4 dealerships and a collision center, Hinderer Motor Company is your one-stop shop for all things automotive. Visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Let's get a look at that weather report today. Clouds and showers, temperatures in the lower end of the 70s. The best opportunity for rain, I'm thinking, is between about 2 p.m. and 10 p.m., although it's fair game that we could have a few showers before or after that time. Heading into tomorrow, it looks a little bit drier, cloudy with a 30% chance of rain, high 72. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Chicken wings, check. Drinks, check. Listening to The Fan, check. It must be game day.
Sponsored by Reichert Ford.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Saturday in Ohio. Birds are chirping. The sky is what, blue-gray? I don't know. This is recorded in advance. But the most wonderful thing of all is Buckeye football. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Your flagship home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. It's The Fan's east to west.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVier, Posey, getting you ready for Ohio State, Michigan State. Before we lock in on some Big Ten scores, could be a major upset brewing down in the SEC right now because Depot looks like Kentucky just took the lead on Ole Miss with about 2.5 minutes to go. So if they get this extra point, Kentucky will go up 20 to 17, on 6th-ranked Ole Miss on the road. So this Kentucky team has shown us the last 2 times that we've seen them that we can hang with the big dogs. They did it to Georgia.
Yeah, they rise to the level of competition.
And they done it to Ole Miss. So their defense has to get a stop. But something definitely interesting to monitor right now in the SEC.
Look at Coach Stoops. He looks so crazy.
Man, this is the defense. This is when you're just nervous as a fan because you know Jackson Dart and company, they're coming out on the field.
Oh,
yeah,
and they
crazy.
scored on a fumble. Did you see the halftime with Coach Stoops when he was like, "Hey, Coach, I heard you and the referees had some words," and he said something like so borderline crazy. It was like he was like, "Yeah, well, that was our problem to have," or something like that. I'm just like, wait, what? Like, what did he just say?
Oh,
but Coach Stoops, man, you gotta love the Stoops family, man. Football family through and through, man. But he has Kentucky playing great this year.
He does. He really does. To your point, they really have been rising up and hanging with a couple of the elites around that conference. Looking at the Big Ten right now, about 2:40 to go up in Ann Arbor. Michigan is up 27-17. Indiana has hung 42 on Maryland. It's 42-28 with 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And then over in Purdue's neck of the woods, they're hosting Nebraska, and that score is 28-10 with 1.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. What is up? What is happening in Bloomington?
Oh, no, wait. You got to give my one tough animal some love this week.
Curtis Rourke.
I might make him my one tough animal next week.
Today, here's what I got for you so far.
Give him some love. He's an Ohio Bobcat.
Curtis Rourke, 22 of 33.
Let's go.
359 and 3 touchdowns.
He's going to be like the Big Ten player of the year right now.
Curtis Rourke has been incredible. Hasn't thrown an interception yet this year.
He has no picks.
Not a single pick. He's a senior coming up from OU, as you mentioned. And this, you talk about confidence.
This is portal success right here.
Absolutely. There's no question.
Portal pays off.
Their head coach put everybody on notice. We talked about it last week when there was a media member that asked him,
Coach Siggs.
Yes, Coach Siggs. How are you going to attract players to come to Bloomington? His response, I win. Google me. And when you say that, you got to follow up your word with winning, and they're off to a good start right now, and it looks like Indiana's going to go to 5-0. The rest of your Big Ten schedule for today is Ohio State and Michigan at 7:30. You're going to have, before that, Wisconsin going out to L.A. to take on USC. That'll be a 3:30 kick. And then the rest of your schedule is Illinois at Penn State at 7:30, and then you get an 11 p.m. kick, East Coast time, between Oregon and UCLA. Last night, Rutgers took care of Washington at home 21-18. Depot, let's get back to some Buckeye chatter before we hand this thing off to the guys following us. The defense today, I am very curious how they're going to handle a mobile quarterback in Aiden Childs, because we've seen quarterbacks throughout a few spots this year hurt Ohio State with their legs. To me, this is going to be the most athletic quarterback that they deal with. But before we get into that a little bit more, I do want to throw Jim Knowles in the mix right now. And here he is talking about some of the struggles and how they can learn from that.
It's not a good thing, but you have to make the best of it, So it's learning experience. Everything happens for a reason. Okay, this happened. Here's how we didn't play it right. Here's how we have to play it right. So we learn from it. You learn. I think Bear Bryant said you learn a lot from a loss. We're not allowed to lose around here. But you learn even more from a win where you don't play your absolute best. So it's probably where you're heading, but I don't ever think it's a good thing. You just take what you have and make the best of it.
So one thing I really want to see, Depot, is this defense talking Ohio State's get off the field. Last week, Marshall 7 of 18 on third down. Now, I don't know if that's the bye week blues and coming off the bye or whatever that may be, but I think when you have a young quarterback in Aiden Childs, who I think will be really good in this conference in the years to come, don't allow him to gain confidence by picking up third downs early in the game. So this defensive line, can they heat him up enough to get Michigan State's offense off the field and not allow a young guy to feel like I can hang with the Ohio State Buckeyes early in the game?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much this defense coming in and playing with a fiery mentality, right? Like they're down some playmakers. If I mean, obviously there's no injury report, but a little birdie told me.
Okay.
Right.
Sources.
So yeah, sources.
Depot has sources.
So they're down some playmakers. So they're going to do a lot with him. They're going to try and be creative, get him out in space. And I just think when you go back to like week 1 and week 2, like the Igbinosa, targeting penalty, there's a Burke targeting penalty, how many quarterbacks Akron went through. I just feel like this is going to be an angry defense. Like, I just really feel like these guys are about to,
take it to another level. Mm-hmm. Take it to another level. They tightened the screws in the second half, did not allow a point in the game. And you heard from Jim Knowles where he talks about Ohio State can't lose. We're nitpicking, right? But the reason why you have to nitpick is because we can look back, or we'll be able to look back in the coming weeks at some of these things like third down defense and the issues that have, shown themselves on kickoff and stuff like that and say, okay, are those things that could cost you a game against Oregon, Penn State, Michigan, some of those teams on your schedule? So that's the reason why you got to shine a light on it. But I do feel like this should be a comfortable day for Ohio State. On the offensive side of the ball, I think they just have to continue what they've been doing, right? This has been a clean, explosive output from Ohio State for the most part. The run game has been spectacular with Quinshawn and Travion. Emeka Egbuka, I think, has really gotten off to a good start. And that's great to see. The game that he had last week, the games that he's starting to stack up. And the reason why I think that's a big deal is because I think that takes some pressure off Jeremiah Smith to be the guy right now. When you have Emeka setting the tone as a veteran in that wide receiver room, Jeremiah is going to get his. Mm-hmm. But I think that's something that's started to pop off the last couple of weeks is Will and Emeka, those guys have that chemistry. But for Emeka specifically, he can lead the charge right now, and Jeremiah can still get his and pop off every once in a while.
Yeah, no, I just feel like that. We haven't really got to see much Carnell Tate either, right? And for this offense, it's really, hey, guys, like, wow me. Show me a way that you guys can win a game that you haven't showed me already. But I don't really see us facing much drama up in East Lansing today.
Last time we had a little bit of a conversation about the slow start was game 1 to game 2. Mm-hmm. They came out in game 2 against Western Michigan, and they really had a clean game. I'm expecting that to be the case. You have veterans up and down this team that knows what it takes to go on the road because they've done that, and even Will has done that elsewhere. And good news on defense, it does sound like Tyleik Williams is going to play in this game. So you got a dude down in the trenches that can hold it down. Depot, quickly, your final score.
I don't do those, but I'll just say
don't do those.
I don't do final scores. Okay. I don't do score predictions because I don't know.
Okay, there we go. I'm going 44-10.
I like it.
44-10. Ohio State gets it done. We're going to hand this thing off to my main man, Anthony Rothman, and Andy Katzenboyer and Tim May. They're out at the casino. They're going to have a good time, folks. This has been the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Buying a truck for your business doesn't have to be a time-consuming experience. Valley Ford of Columbus makes it easy with a dedicated commercial truck center and the best inventory in Ohio. Valley has the selection to fit your needs exactly. Here's just one example. 2024 Ford F-250s with $5,000 off MSRP and as low as 1.9 APR. Tell them I sent you and keep on trucking with Valley Ford of Columbus, the official dealership of Carnell Tate and T-Bone, for whatever that's worth. Valley Ford of Columbus. More details, valleyfordofcolumbus.com.
Full inventory sale at Logan Services. Save up to $2,500 and 0% APR financing for 72 months on a qualifying train system. Plus, your choice of one air quality freebie. It's hard to stop a train with a system for every home and budget. Now, for a limited time, save up to $1,000 on a water heater and water conditioning combo. Ask us about tax credits when you book your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman for the Bath Authority. It's time to make your bath and shower something you really love. Something so great, your singing in the shower comes from a genuine place of happiness. Don't keep staring at that outdated bath, the mold, the mildew, the broken tiles. Every unit from the Bath Authority is custom built. You choose the premium accents and accessories. Right now, get free installation on your new bath or shower, plus 36 months of 0% interest. Visit thebathauthority.com. That's thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited Truck Month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns for its biggest year yet. For the first time with Metallica. 2 nights, 2 different set lists, no repeat weekend. Plus exclusive Metallica experiences. With Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, and over 100 more bands to be announced. 4 days, May 8th to the 11th at historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Select passes on sale now at SonicTempleFestival.com.
Hello, I am a serious announcer hired to deliver a serious announcement. Get an Apex Pros winter tune-up for your furnace right now for only $29. Notice we are simply giving you the facts. Just $29 to make sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming Ohio winter. We know how you enjoy our usual fun and funny commercials. Hello? Beg pardon? Well, I see no reason to bring my mother into this. Good day to you, sir. Where was I? Oh, yes. A $29 tune-up will make sure your furnace runs safely and warmly all winter. That's serious. I'm serious. That's why we're not doing the usual that you've come to expect from Apex Pros. None of this or this nonsense. $29 for a furnace tune-up from Apex Pros. The pros who knows? Knows? Is that really how you say it? The pros who...
Apex Pros, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Next.
The last thing you want to do is take another trip to the doctor's office.
And sign here and here and here.
Save yourself the hassle by visiting VeriHeal.com to talk to a state-licensed medical provider about medical cannabis. You'll see if you pre-qualify in just a few minutes. Simple as that. That'll make your day go from this to this. Visit VeriHeal.com. VeriHeal.